Morning again from Tokyo. I want to make another video real quick about a prior video that I made about the Mongol Empire. So what I had done in this one with this lesson, as I have here on Manage Back, looking at the Mongol Empire, discussing it, and really discussing how it got so big. So then what I had done was presented three different maps. You had the Mongol Empire, then you had the Silk Road routes, and then you had a blank map, which this one I printed out for students because I wanted them to be able to work with it. And then what I had them do was to find a map of Asia. And within the orange is how I taught it, but within the orange, within the empire of the Mongol Empire, the largest empire on earth, they had to list and illustrate the borders of the present day countries in Asia that made up the Mongol Empire. So using these three maps, I had them go in order, first highlighting the border, then using a site of their choice, go ahead and label those countries, present day countries today. Part of the reason for the present day countries, not only for geography skills to illustrate the borders, but I also want them to make cultural and maybe even linguistic connections. Looking at what the Mongol, I mean, after all, they not only united the Silk Road, but there's a lot of influence that we have from the Mongols today. So looking at those three maps, it took some time. It was the first time they had ever really gone over the Mongols. And so what I want to do is kind of show some results and why I think this is a very useful tool. So this is one here. As you can see, you have the orange. And then what they had done was they labeled all the countries. You see China. Now you see here where it says the Great Khanate. Okay, another site I had used was to illustrate the four different Khanates. When Genghis Khan dies, he divides the empire. Where were those? And this one you can see they not only illustrated the four, but then you see if I move it a little bit, the red lines. These red lines illustrate the Silk Road routes. The student did pretty well. And then what they had done, unknowing to them, was made their own study guide. And I said, you're going to be using your own maps. I'm going to ask you questions about your map. For example, using one Silk Road route from one location, most always was from Beijing, going to a specific other location. What countries, present day countries, would I visit, see along this Silk Road route? And they had to use their map. I thought it went exceptionally well. Not only were they really focused on their map, and I had met with them a couple times before I thought the maps were suitable, but all their answers went on the back. So literally study guide, all their answers on the back. Okay, made for pretty good grading. I could literally flip it over and see everything that was being done. So the results went pretty well. I have one student here, did very well. You could see the illustrations that they done. They made their map key. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to show it, all the countries and areas. And again, they made their own study guide. So as they go through writing their answers on the back, they had to use their own map and a study guide. So yes, it's a stretch for 7th grade, but this was really probably at an 8th or 9th grade level. As I was looking in other books, it was saying, you know, to focus on one map, just the Silk Road routes, or just the Mongol Empire, or don't even really integrate the present day countries. But I think you can do all of that. And I think the effectiveness of it is when you start to talk about the countries most common in the Mongol Empire. Obviously, you're going to be looking at China. And China is going to be actually the next unit we look at, which is perfect. It creates that building block. Okay, from China, let's look at the influence that the Mongols brought. And it also helps because there is the Great Wall. And I have two Chinese students who have been to the Great Wall. They were able to talk about it in depth. Why was the Great Wall built? Well, we can go back a few thousand years. Obviously, there were reasons then, but one of the primary reasons that it was finished was to keep the Mongols out. And when they saw where the wall was and they saw where Mongolia was in the present day country today, it was clear. It was like, well, wow, okay, so that clearly was the intent of that large construction. So in any case, these were the results that accompany another video I did about the Mongol Empire. So take a look at that one and then take a look at this to see the results. Don't be shy or afraid to try new areas to dive into for students to really test those map skills. It took a lot of time meeting with them, showing them where waterways were on their blank maps versus where the maps were on the screen. And they're already doing this in art. So there's that integration that you have. So anyway, take what you can from this video, make learning fun, and I hope you get from it.